Thought about the fact that next Mother's Day you could be spending it at the White House?
Wow, I don't really think that far forward, but you know, that is a possibility.
What kind of First Lady do you think you would be? And what kind of mission would you set for yourself?
Every First Lady brings her own personality to the White House. For me, you know, of course it's going to have something to do with the things I care about and the things I love. Having had breast cancer, I'm sure I'll be involved in breast cancer awareness. Having had multiple sclerosis, I'll be working with trying to promote research. But beyond that, I also have worked for many years with at-risk youth, and so I know I'll never be able to give that up either.
Mm-hmm. When you look back at First Ladies, are there any that you particularly admire, and what did you admire about them?
Well, you know, you think of Barbara Bush and her frankness, her outspokenness, and yet her just realness. I mean, you just loved her. Laura Bush was so ladylike and just wonderful.
What do you think about Mrs. Obama?
I think she's lovely, and I think, you know, as everyone can appreciate, it is a very difficult position to be in, where your husband's under enormous scrutiny all the time and attacks from one side or the other, and yet to be able to keep your calm and to be able to have your composure, you know, we appreciate that and see that in her.
You talk about the struggles that you've been through in your life, and faith has been, I'm sure, a big part of getting you through those. You know, how do you feel that that has served you as a wife and as a mother?
You have a choice when you're hit with something really hard. And you can curl up and just give up, or you can just push and keep going. And for me, for a while, I have to tell you, it was really difficult. And I felt like doing the first and feeling very sorry for myself. But then you have the resources of the people that you love around you and giving you encouragement, but then you finally learn how to dig really deep and to say, I'm going to get through this. I think it has changed my heart. It has softened my heart. It's made me very concerned about others that are going through challenges, and know that we'll all have a dark hour in our life. There are people that are suffering right now. They're maybe losing their mothers, or they're losing a child, or they're losing a spouse, or they're being diagnosed with cancer. And there's people right now are going through enormous challenges. And so for me, I am grateful that my heart has been opened up and softened, and that I can appreciate and understand when someone is going through a challenge, what it feels like.
What was that like between you and your husband when you had those dark moments with that diagnosis, first with multiple sclerosis, and you had 5 children to take care of? It's often very frightening for the spouse.
It was hard for Mitt. I think it's always harder sometimes for the person watching than for the person going through it. But it was hard for me too. I will tell you, because we have an identity. My identity was a mother, accomplished, doing many things, taking care of everybody, and all of a sudden I couldn't even take care of myself. It's like a rug being pulled out from underneath you. And then what are you left with? And you really then have to evaluate, who am I, and who am I really? And for Mitt, that's where he gave me the greatest strength, because he was the one reminding me that it wasn't what I did, why he loved me. It was who I was. It was how much he loved me and cared for me, and not to worry about those things, and not to think that life wasn't going to be still rich without doing all of those things. And so for me, having my husband give me that perspective when I was losing that perspective and a little frightened and feeling very overwhelmed, it was wonderful to have him there.